Is everybody in? The show's about to begin. Alexa, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right, then it's go time. Welcome, my fiends, to the debut episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. I hope you go to church because by the end of this program, you're going to need some religion. From Hollywood, it's the world-famous Mojo Elliott here to rap about the stuff nobody really gives a rat's ass about, but we're going to have a good time doing it. If you don't mind, let me get this out of the way first. Here's how the Rat's Ass Podcast works. It's like requesting a song on the radio or weighing in on a topic on social media, but you set the tone for this program, for this show, by emailing me your observations and questions, your comments about any subject, any topic. Nothing's off the table. Bring it all on. It is absolutely, positively impossible to offend me, but I promise I'll probably offend you at some point. Email them to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. We do the Gmail, ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Thursday, August 29th.
All right, so now we are official. That means we're only 124 days left in 2024, only 124 days. Did you know on January 1st there will be no more baby boomers under the age of 60? And the first Gen Xer will turn 60. Now think about this. It won't be long until boomers start dying off and yuns will rule the world. It'll all be yours. And did I just say yuns? I think my inner Pittsburgh just popped out. Let me put that back. We don't want that side coming out. You can hear the Rat's Ass Podcast anytime on Spotify, Apple, and on Alexa by saying play the Rat's Ass Podcast, latest episode. Plus, we're on most other podcast apps where you like to get your freak on. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday. I figure 2 days a week is enough. That's probably all you can stand of me. The fun part about doing this podcast, though, I'm really excited about, is we're doing everything at random. I haven't seen the emails that you send me, and I won't look at them first. I like to do things off the cuff. I'm a little wild that way. I'm unfiltered, so be prepared. Anything like the Pittsburgh thing could pop out at any time. But my producer, Fleabag, has forwarded me, he hates that name too, by the way. He looks at me and goes, oh, you bastard. He has forwarded me your names, where you're from, and converted your comments and questions so that I can grab them really quick at random. All right, so that's how we're going to do it. Now, to determine every week how many episodes we're going to do, I just picked up a pair of dice, and I swear these are dice. Okay, those are dice. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right, but we'll get a number between 2 and 12, and that'll tell us every week how many rapid-fire emails we're going to answer. I wish I had somebody here to blow on them. I don't want Fleabag doing it. All right, we're going to do nine rapid-fire emails today, so let's get into the cheese. Bobby from Texarkana, Texas. Assume B-O-B-B-I is a lady. All right, so Bobby wants to know, how many women have you slept? Oh, Fleabag, we got to rethink this random thing, man. Out of the gate, how many women have you slept with during your lifetime? Bobby, I'm going to answer this like women answer this question. I can count them all. I can count them all on one hand. I can count my lovers on one hand. Give the illusion that it's 1 through 5, but you and I both know that we can count to infinity and beyond on one hand. So if you find a guy who believes it's 5 or less, you hang on to that guy forever because you can manipulate him forever. All right, Jamie from Lodi, California, home state here. What is the secret to a long relationship? Jamie, you're asking me? How about separate bathrooms? Let's go with that one. I mean, think about this. What happens between you and your ass should stay between you and your ass. It's best to create the illusion that your ass is as dormant as a volcano, and you and your partner are the only 2 people on earth whose asses have never erupted. Think about that. Let me know if that works for you, if you like that idea or not. Amber, Tempe, Arizona. Do you have any tattoos? I do not. But if I did, I've thought about this. The perfect place would be on Mr. Muscle. In the relaxed state, it would say super. In the flex state, it would say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And if you can spell that, Amber, I'll send you a salami, all right? Nigel from London, England. Nigel, thanks for the email from abroad. Not calling you a woman. I'm just saying abroad, across the pond. Tell me something that would motivate me to take a trip to the United States. Nigel, you're in London. If that's not motivation enough, I don't know what is. You can try blondes, large testicles, tight tushes, trim bushes. And if you come to LA, we'll meet up and I'll take you up to Neptune's Net on PCH, great place near Zuma Beach. And we'll compare fish and chips between the USA and the UK. I'll look forward to meeting you someday, man. Jake from Jacksonville, Florida. Where is the vacation destination you'd never go to again? Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Didn't take me long to think about that one. And here's why. Now, I stayed at Sandals. It was a fabulous resort. Great entertainment, good food, lots of food. And I had one of the best massages I ever had in Jamaica. Now, there was no funny business. There was no happy ending. Okay, it was just a damn good massage. But here's the problem. When you go to these resorts, they tell you, don't leave the resort or you could end up dead. It's not a friendly place. And I had this picture of a big kettle on a fire and me inside getting cooked by cannibals. Call me crazy, but I kind of like living. Ian from Joliet, Illinois. What's the best way to pick up a chick in a bar? Oh, geez, okay. It's been a long time, Ian, but here's how I used to do it. And it came from lots of trial and error. So, but once you get this down, man, it's like, you become a player. You become a hustler, baby. Just go sit at a bar, relax, talk to people around you, buy people around you a couple of drinks so they get all nice and friendly. And if you see a nice girl that you like and she walks up to the bar to order a drink, make eye contact, let her know that you think that she's hot. And if she comes up next to you to order the drink the second time, just make a little quiet conversation with her. Strike up a conversation, say something funny. I could give you a couple of funny quips, but they got to come from you naturally, so it's natural. And you don't come off as being, set up. Like you're using a teleprompter or something like that, right? But, you just make up some nice conversation, and if you play your cards right, it'll be her birthday, and she'll be unwrapping that package of yours in no time. Okay, good luck. Let me know how that works for you, by the way. Cami from Portland, Oregon. I'm thinking about moving to Santa Barbara. What can you tell me about it? Santa Barbara's a nice place. Not a place I would want to live personally because it's a place of snobs and slobs, nothing really in between. But it's fun to take the train up from Ventura along the coast to Santa Barbara. It's a beautiful train ride on the Amtrak. When you get there, they'll let you off and you go to State Street. Good bars, good restaurants, nightclubs. They have a hell of a film festival in Santa Barbara, too, by the way. Stearns Wharf is a lot of fun if you like it by the beach, hanging out on a pier. So a lot of cool places to go in Santa Barbara. I wish they didn't get rid of the zoo, though. They shut that down about 10 years ago. It was a pretty nice zoo. But if you're looking for animals, Isla Vista is my recommendation because that's where all the college kids party. Rose from Weston, West Virginia. How old are you? And tell us something weird about yourself. Well, I'm old enough to know better and too young to resist. I can be tempted. But I found this out a few days ago, and I think it's kind of weird. I just figured out that the fly in men's underwear goes in the front. Yeah, isn't that weird? It took a while. Jake from Tupelo, Mississippi. Do you have any pet peeves? I think we all have those. I'm a pretty easygoing guy most of the time. I would say people who don't say thank you, I think that's rude. People who don't return shopping carts is another one for sure. And people who don't bag their dog's groceries after they do the stop, drop, and plop during the walk. Man, pick that shit up, all right? So, hey, you learned a lot about me today, but let me hear your observations on any subject, any topic you choose, and just send them to me. And I'll give you my 2 cents that doesn't make sense on the next show. All right, here's your extra cheese for today. Yeah, I like to throw out some extra cheese. And maybe you'll have some comments and observations on these that you can send along. J-Lo and Ben Affleck, you've probably heard after 2 years they're getting a divorce. Well, I read this week that there was no prenup. Now, here's what that means. They got married in Nevada, and they live in California. I think they have properties everywhere else, too. But if it works out this way, that it was a marriage in a community property state, it's a 50-50 asset split. J-Lo came into the marriage with $400 million. He had $150 million. Now, if they add that together at $550 and split it, that's $275 each if it works out this way. So when you think about it, J-Lo is losing 125 million on this deal, and Ben is gaining 125 million in 2 years. Advantage, Ben Affleck. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, part 2. Are you ready? September 5th, Baltimore and Kansas City. That's when Taylor will be in the booth, and everybody will be looking from the networks with the cameras to see if Taylor's there with her posse. Will it be a repeat of last year? Maybe they'll cut it back to maybe the start of the game, halftime. Who knows? But last year we thought this was nothing more than a publicity stunt. And here they are, still hot and heavy a year later. We thought it was something to promote the Eras Tour, right? Now, a year later, where it is, in July, he was at training camp. She was finishing up a tour. This week, they've been shacked up in her Rhode Island mansion going, who's your daddy, who's your daddy, who's your daddy? And he turned her into a cream muff. Now, the word is, there is an engagement ring floating around somewhere. That was floated on ESPN not too long ago. We'll keep an eye on that. 90s alternative band Oasis is reuniting after 15 years. Noel and Liam Gallagher, the Fighting Gallagher brothers. Why does a band get back together after 15 years, especially after they broke up in 2009, fighting like crazy animals, like brothers would do? I have an uneducated guess here that they're either going broke or they're broke. It's one of the two. Alex Van Halen is releasing a book next month. Alex has spent 4 years since Eddie's death writing this, and it's going to be interesting because he was always the quiet Van Halen brother. He just played drums, and one of the greatest rock drummers of all time. This guy just beat the hell out of the kid, and he recently sold everything off, so he's not coming back. He's never going to play again. I think Alex is like 71. And he was always kind of a strange-looking dude to me. I used to think, geez, did Mr. Van Halen miss fire on the pullout or something? But anyway, this book's going to be good. We're going to hear all the inside dope about Van Halen, his relationship with Eddie, and I can't wait to hear the retort from David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, and maybe, just maybe, Wolfgang Van Halen will chime in too on that. But I'll keep you posted when the book's released in October. I think it's towards the end of the month. All right, many years ago, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, you might have heard of her. She used to come on my show in Los Angeles, and she was always very entertaining. I'm not sure that the advice she gave was great advice, but I remember she said there were 3 reasons why women leave men. Are you ready? And you can email me and let me know if you agree or disagree. Number 1, they're tired of having sex and banging the guy they're with. Number 2, they're thinking about having sex and banging another guy. And number 3, they're already banging another guy. All right? Do you agree or disagree with Dr. Ruth? Let me know. Either way, guys, girls, anybody can chime in here. But at the end of the day, did we really give a rat's ass? We just know what happens. All right, I've got shout-outs for everyone listening in the USA from California, New York, Ohio, Arizona, and Florida, across planet Earth in the UK, France, Germany, Australia, and Belgium. And thank you for listening wherever your ass is parked right now. That's going to do it for this episode, the debut episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Email what you want me to talk about on the next episode to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Between podcasts, we can catch up on the socials too. Just guess what you have to do? Search for Rat's Ass Podcast, right? Yeah, see, you're catching on. We'll do this again on September 3rd. Have a safe Labor Day weekend. And that's the wrap.